Here we have a sewing machine that has a few issues. Let me show you what they are. The main one, and the one we're going to deal with, is that the shuttle is not working. This whole thing is called a shuttle race assembly, and the bobbin sits in the middle. And the problem is that this little piece, you can get it out, well, this is broken, and it holds this ring in place. I've seen this described as a shuttle cover. So what would you call this? A catch? A lever? I tried all various combinations on plugging that in to see what it's called, and I did find an advert for what's something called a shuttle cover ear, which looks exactly like this. And a pair of these, matching pair, is available on eBay. There's only one problem, they're in China. You can see that the base is broken off. We do have a couple of options. One is to buy a replacement straight from China, and in doing so we can't guarantee that it's going to be absolutely identical and the right size for the machine. And as such, I'm choosing to make one. I do have a 3D printer, and first I'm going to draw this up. And before doing so, I need to take some measurements. I've measured it up with my calipers and sketched out a few dimensions, and now I'm off to the computer to draw this up using a 3D drawing program. When I'm finished, I'll put the drawing on Thingiverse for those who don't fancy doing it themselves. No guarantee that it will fit your machine, but we'll see whether that's worth a go or not. I'll not talk through the drawing of the part because I shall put the final STL drawing on Thingiverse, and also it will make the video extremely long if I do carry on chatting. I will be speeding it up to get through the laborious parts, and if I feel that it's necessary to make any comment, I will do, but we'll see how it goes. Going to start. Part design. Create new part. Create body. Create sketch. XY plane. OK. Create an arc focused on the centre of the drawing. Create another arc focused on the horizontal plane. Create two straight lines. Set the arc radius to fairly happy with that drawing. I think that's it as far as I'm concerned. Now we've got lots of sharp edges, and I found it best to sort of take these sharp edges off and with a file, so a little bit of manual work once they're printed, and adjust it accordingly to fit where it needs to fit. So I'll save this file save, and file export. I've got to select the object first. So select the ear, which is the cut, which has got all of them selected, all of it selected. And now we're going to file. All the parts selected, file, export, version 1, cut. That'll do. I'll leave that name like that. Now we can close the file. Just make sure I've saved it. File, exit. Alright, let's stop recording. I made a slight fool of myself here. I thought I'd finished, but I haven't. I've got to add a third body. So we go down to part design, and it's create a body, create a sketch. This time I want it in the XZ plane. Okay. Save. Yes, I'm going to save it. Now we need to merge these two parts. So we take select our cut, control down, hold our body, and join both of these pieces. File save, select Fusion, file, export, and I'll do. I've imported the part into the slice and dice program I use, which is Cura. I need to orientate the part on the board. For printing, I'm going to print it on this face here. Which requires me to rotate the layer. And let's snap that face. It's now laying flat on the board, ready for printing. And the little lug that you can't see on the other side is also laying flat. All the settings I have pre-programmed into this. It's standard quality, but I'm printing in PETG, so my temperatures are different. And I should go ahead and slice. But before I slice, I want to make two of them because they do come in pairs. The easy way to do that is to right click on your part, multiple select model, we'll have 2 of them, okay. Perhaps I should have selected just one of them. Control Z, yes. Select multiple parts, 1, select one of those parts, and we will create a move mirror image and pop. There's our mirror image. Now we've got a pair. Slice and dice. It's going to take 33 minutes. I'll save this to file. Save to file. And I'll save it as that'll do. If you print them singularly, there is don't seem to have any problems, but every time I go to do them as a pair, then it doesn't work for me, so I've gone to printing them on a raft with a fairly good success. We'll come back to this later on. Print is coming along. Besides having a raft, I do use support all round. Basically speaking, at the end it just ends up with a cleaner product when I've broken the bits off. If I did it with no support, and it would print with no support, it's a little bit more frizzies here and there, so I prefer to do it this way. Well, here we are, the part's finished. Okay, black on white, contrasts, not very good, but I'll take it off. Well, it's quite a pain trying to do things in front of a camera so that people can see it. But let's pull that off of there. Pull this one off. Now those two parts, because they had a little bit of support in them, have come out very clean. And now I've got to get the centre bits out. These centre bits are a little bit more difficult. I have to push from the narrow end to get the front end out. That's one. And do the other. Now they will require minimal clean-up, as opposed to printing them one at a time. And around this point here, around that point there, they require a little bit of filing when it comes to fitting them. So not absolutely perfect replicas, but absolutely good enough to do the job. Well, here's the completed design, and we'll get to the moment of truth in a moment. new bit, I've filed a little bit of the corners off and there so that it's more compatible with the piece I took out. I'll put the, however, this is perhaps a slightly tighter fit than I would like. Good. I made the piece out of PETG as opposed to PLA because I found that PLA tends to, when you put it under stress, tends to bend and form to the pressure, whereas PETG is more resilient to that. Put that back in, like so. Put the clips back in place. I think probable reason for breaking is that somebody's been a bit ham-fisted with the putting the clips over the cover plate. That's about it, I think. I will make the drawing for this available on Thingiverse for those who want to give it a try. It may not fit your machine and you may have to resort to drawing it up yourself and doing a 3D drawing, etc. for your needs. We've been trying to catch now for 2 weeks and we've had no problems with it. So's okay. However, do bear in mind that this is one of the lower end of the market machines, and there are a few other things that are not quite to my liking about it, but they're more to do with ill-fitting casing